Let's set the scene. It's 2005, and after around 3 years of sending CDRs of his music to Code 9 of Hyperdub Records, his first EP is released, South London Boroughs. This 4-track 20-minute EP showcases some of the styles that Burial would play with dark ambient sounds clashing with echoing shaky drums. As a first release, this showcased a lot of the sounds that we would expect to hear in future Burial releases. Personally, I really enjoyed this EP. It's 20 minutes of pure emotion and gloomy soundscapes. It just sounds really introspective. A couple more releases later, including his self-titled album, we get Untrue, the work that he's most famous for. Alright, sorry for this little bit here in the video, but I just wanted to mention that I got a new microphone, so if it sounds a bit different, you know why. Anyways, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Burial's Untrue is one of my favourite albums of all time. Firstly, it's quite impressive that Burial managed to make this album in what was essentially a glorified version of Audacity. With no time snap, the drums couldn't care less whether they're on time or if it snaps to a grid, but also it just sounds perfect anyway. Without having to care about what time it is, it still just sounds perfect somehow. Along with this, the sample playing sounds of this record, combined with this sort of weird timing, sort of make it sound like an ambient work despite its heavy hitting drums. It makes it something that quite easily, in my opinion, you could lay your head back and relax to, but also something that you could cry to or be angry or sad to. This record has a lot of things that combined we just don't see in other pieces of music. This album sounds like something that we as humans aren't supposed to hear but hear anyway, and it sounds so ethereal and so dreamy that we can't even compare it to what we've heard before, just because it sounds so different that we have nothing to compare it to. Despite being around 13 years old, this album has really stood the test of time, sounding so futuristic that, and still no artist has seemed to nail down this style like Burial has, even after all this time. Not to mention its influence, which is so vast and so vivid. For example, Jamie XX's In Colour has a sort of more upbeat style of what Burial did, with yes a bit more time snap so it's not as ambient, but it still sounds really ethereal and dreamy, which to this day has gone down as one of the greatest electronic albums alongside Burial's Untrue. This, even pop artists like the 1975 have taken inspiration for this album for their current latest album, Notes on a Conditional Form. The track Yeah I Know is minimalism to the core, but is so sad and so emotive in my opinion. With just a few instruments, with hard hitting drums, it sounds like you stripped back Burial's Untrue to just a raw emotion even more. Take a listen if you're wondering what I mean. A masterpiece. There's not much else to say about it. It really is something amazing that nothing in the past that I've heard and nothing since has ever came close to. Anyways, that's it for this video. Have a good one.